everybody, welcome back to Wine Exposed. I'm Larry, your host, and today we are looking at a Cava. Cava is a sparkling wine that comes to us from Spain. Cava is produced in Spain. It can be produced in a number of different areas within Spain. This one in particular comes from the Penedès in the northeastern region of Spain, which is really the most prominent region for Cava production in a place called Catalunya. The Penedès is in Catalunya. Anyway, this Cava is called Gran Pasion. Gran Pasion means great passion. This is a brut style Cava, and it's a Reserva. This wine is, even though it's not declared on the bottle, it is a single vintage. This wine was harvested all in 2008, and I'm looking forward to trying this one. This wine comes to us from Terroir Wine Cellars. Terroir Wine Cellars is a Florida-based importer. They also produce Polaria, which I have reviewed on this show in the past. They make two different wines. They make a CMS, which is a Cab Merlot Syrah. They also make a single varietal Merlot. And I have yet to review the Merlot, but I will definitely be doing that. That was definitely not the prescribed way of opening a champagne or sparkling wine bottle, but pretty close. Not bad. Not bad for an amateur, huh? Okay, so, like I mentioned, this is a Brut, which is the driest style that you can get. Next would be a little sweeter than Brut would be extra dry, and even sweeter still would be demi-sec, and I'm not sure how much demi-sec Cava they make, but I've definitely seen Brut and extra dry. That's mainly what you're going to see. Those are going to be the two most prominent styles of Cava that you're going to see on the market. Alright, so looking forward to trying this one. What I'm also going to do is something interesting. I'm going to infuse some Framboise. Framboise comes to us from Pacific Rim. I want to thank them for that. Pacific Rim is basically just says an infusion of raspberry, but this is a beverage. It's a, call it a, what do they call it? They say this is a raspberry wine with grape spirits added, and this is 16.5% alcohol by volume, so no joke. Sometimes if you mix orange juice in your sparkling wine, or if if you add some peach nectar to make a Bellini, that's certainly not going to kick up the alcohol, but some Framboise will definitely do the trick. So we're going to add some to taste, just to my preference, to see what it does for it. I think it's going to be a nice little thing to do, and I wanted to do that just to show you guys. I think it would be something interesting and fun to do. You know, on the nose, I get a lot. I get a predominance of apple. That's the first thing that comes to mind. It smells clean. It smells very clean, crisp. I get some, like a bit of nuttiness as well, and that's not coming from me. I'm not the nutty one here. This sparkling wine definitely gives me a little nuttiness to it. Interesting. Although sometimes I definitely can be nutty, and I think you just saw evidence of that right there. Very refreshing. Looking at the bubbles here, I mean, this is like this is a nice sparkling wine. This is really, really bubbling up. Cool thing about Cava too is that this is made method traditionnel, which means that it's made in the same method that they use to make champagne. It's a second fermentation that occurs in the bottle. So this is it's definitely the traditional method, sometimes also called method champenoise. Great alternative. I mean, if you're looking for an everyday sparkling wine, doesn't have to be a special occasion. You can use sparkling wine just to have some fun. Just as an everyday drinking wine. It's nice and light, crisp. It's refreshing. It's got those scrubbing bubbles, which are always nice. But you can also these are really versatile pairing wines, sparkling wines. And sometimes you go out and for a special occasion you spend a little bit more on a champagne. And but everybody typically look for better values to get an everyday wine. And for a sparkling wine, this is a nice everyday sparkling wine that I would definitely recommend. It's nice stuff. It's got a really interesting nose. It's like apples and nuts. All right, let's mix in some framboise here. This will be kind of fun. So what I like to do is I kind of like to mix it in just a little bit at a time, see how we do. I almost got that one all over my pants. I'm glad I didn't. But as you can see, gives it a nice color. Wow. That really gives it. You really smell the raspberry on there. This is real concentrated. I remember I mixed framboise into a beer one time, and I didn't know how much that. I think somebody had recommended that I do it like 25% of that to 100% of the beer, and I put in way too much, and it really just overpowered the beer. So that's why I like to add framboise very like to do it in minimal amounts, and so I get it to the flavor that I like. But you can definitely tell on the nose that it's in there. Nice, very nice. Well, I would say that that's a nice option. If you like sparkling wine and you want to add something just to give it an additional, enhance the flavor, or if it's if you're gonna be pairing up with something that you think would be complementary with raspberry flavors, like if you're gonna put it out with fruit, I think that would be a really nice way to jazz up your sparkling wine. And you don't necessarily have to go out. I mean, this actually looks like a rosé sparkler, but you don't have to go out to get a rosé, because this is going to give it that rosé color, and also gives it way more flavor than you would typically find in a rosé sparkling wine. And it's certainly more focused. I mean, now you're complementing the apples and nuts with now some very concentrated raspberry, and this is really nice. I think I did a good job blending that. So anyway, I would definitely recommend Gran Pasion and the framboise from Pacific Rim. Go out and find it. They're both under $15 typically on the shelf. I want to thank Terroir Wine Cellars and Pacific Rim for supplying these wines. And we'll see you next time on Wine Exposed. Thank you and cheers.